to give them something to kill them and then bring them back. So they can.
Well, would you want to take the risk of having a doctor giving you something to terminate your life with the thought they can maybe give you an antidote to bring you right back? Like 2 minutes later. I mean, what the odds are that? Yeah, maybe they can do it. But what happens if you're one of the guys they can't do it to?
I know.
Well, you're still out of the debt, aren't you? This is, stuck to your wife, that's all. Or the wife is stuck to the husband, I don't know.
But if you're in prison and you get to go free, there'd be a lot of people signing up for that one, I'm sure. They got nothing to lose, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're doing life.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I mean, he's taking it to appeals, and then from there, who knows where he'll take it. But I do see the logic behind it, because if they pronounce you dead and you are technically dead, and then you come back to life, okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I tell you, that's a weird situation. And guess what? A dog goes in the kitchen while the owners are gone, right?
Yeah.
And decides it wants to eat some food and turns the microwave on. No big deal, right? Other than it kind of like burnt down half the house.
Oh, that's all? Jeez. The dog should have read the instructions. You don't put it on for 20 minutes for just a little piece of bread or cheese or whatever he was cooking. But, wonder, another thing, maybe he had some little piece of metal in there. I'll tell you what, I've seen little, bread wrapper, metal wraps that keep them shut or something in there, and boy, can it arc. And it will cause fire.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out, years and years ago, many moons ago when my kids were young, like 12, 11, 10, we got a microwave. That's a long time ago, and they were a lot more money than what you can go buy them now. And now they almost give you money to take one. But the thing is, I couldn't figure out why our microwaves weren't lasting more than a few months. And one day I came home from work, and here's my kids putting light bulbs in the microwave and turning it on and watching the light bulbs glow in the microwave.
My good, yeah, because they got metal bases. There must have been all kind of arcing going on in there. My goodness.
And and then you go to use the microwave after they, that's what they were doing. Stuff, not just light bulbs. They were putting all kinds of weird stuff in there. And the bad part is, you go to use the microwave and you make a cup of tea or something in the microwave. Hey, it's been 90 seconds. It's only lukewarm. Now it's 5 minutes and it's hot. What is going on with this? Well, hey, they wiped out the microwave by putting all this stuff in there. Did you hear back a few years ago, a woman put her dog, a little teacup, poodle in a microwave, thinking it would dry it after a bath?
Oh my God! I don't even want to go down that road. That's just rotten. Oh boy, that was one hot dog right there. Jeez.
Oh, well, let's put it this way: probably the time she got it out, you could probably eat it.
Yeah, that's just bizarre. I don't know what people aren't thinking these days. I'll tell you, it makes me scratch my head.
I don't know. And then in Florida, Florida. What is it with Florida? Why can't it be Nebraska? Anyway, in Florida, a boy, 7 years old, is knocked off a surfboard by a jumping shark.
A jump off a surfboard?
Yeah.
Okay. So the shark must have jumped and knocked. Wow.
Yeah, the shark jumped over the 7-year-old kid who was standing on the surfboard, and the shark jumped over it and knocked him down. I would be scared after that.
Yeah, I bet he was scared of that. And I bet his parents sitting on the beach watching him just about had a coronary on top of that. Because here's the thing, if it's your kid, you're going to try to go in and save them, and you may be the one getting bit too. That's a lose-lose all around. I mean, and that poor kid, you imagine the nightmares he's going to be having too. Jeez. And
he had a GoPro, set in video mode on his surfboard, and it actually shows a picture of the shark, just going, like over. And could you imagine about an 8-9 foot shark jumping over your surfboard while you're surfing? That would be really scary, because then at that point, you're scared. I would be scared about what that shark might have other intentions.
Yeah, definitely would be scared. I've seen surfboards where the sharks took a bite out of the surfboard. You can see their whole mouth print, and a big chunk missing out of the board. So, if your leg was there or you were there, you would have been missing a leg or something where it took the bite. They're no. And another thing, when they did that, sometimes them sharks leave their teeth in the board.
Oh yeah, or take hunks out of the board. Well,
that's what I mean.
A Greek reporter, evidently one of his fans didn't like him because one of his fans started chasing him on live TV. Unfortunately, the fan was a giant pig.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know that didn't end well because pigs can outrun a human. I mean, most of them anyway. And I gotta tell you, pigs got big mouths and they got big teeth, and they will take a hunk out of you. So I wonder if he got a little bite.
I don't know. It didn't say that, but I guess if you had a pig, I don't know. Like I said, my friend one time, I told you this. I had a pig. It was enough where you could have enough hams for a long time. This pig was so big, but you know what? It moved so slow. I don't think that pig could run because it was so fat.
Yeah, I seen a video just last week on the internet here where it was on a farm and the guy was trying to get this baby pig, and he's acting nonchalant and he hurried up and grabbed it. Well, out from behind the barn comes the mama pig, and it was a pretty good sized pig, and it was running full bore, and it chased that guy and bit him right in the old the butt, and that guy jumped and squawed. It was comical. I'll tell you, he didn't go after the pig after that.
No, I wouldn't either. This little piggy would have gone to the market after that.
Yeah, this little piggy can't go to the market no more because a big piggy bit it off.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Well, firefighters in China rescued a small boy who crawled into a claw machine. Now you know what a claw machine is, right?
Yes, I do.
How can you How could you climb into one of those? Aren't they kind of like sealed shut?
There's some of them that is about 1 foot by 1 foot square where you got to get the bigger gift out. So if you got a kid small enough, believe it or not, you can crawl up in there. But when you said fireman in Chinese, I'm thinking Chinese fire drill. But my goodness, that is, I think that's against the rules, isn't it, to send your kid in there to grab the gift? That's just weird.
Yeah, it is. Well, guess what? 45,650 teddy bears were thrown onto an ice rink during a hockey game.
Yeah, I seen that. It was up in Canada.
No, let's see. It says a Pennsylvania hockey team teddy bear toss event set a new world record. 45,650 stuffed animals were thrown onto the ice.
Yeah, you know how long it takes to get them off there? That's, another one, a couple of them teams and the fans, some of them throw live octopus and all kind of crazy stuff out there. So the first few minutes of the game is usually about cleaning up the ring.
Live octopus?
Yeah, I forget what team that was. They don't do it all the time, I don't think. But, yeah, live octopus, they throw right out there. There was a bunch of them.
Oh, wow.
Dead one. Well, I think most of them were dead, but some of them were alive.
Interesting. And a deer was spotted with his antlers covered with Christmas tree lights. This is animal rescuers in California shared a photo of a deer that accidentally decorated a house and had hundreds of Christmas tree lights wrapped around its antlers.
What a sight that would be! My goodness, I seen a thing. Speaking of the lights, there the other day, it kind of reminded me of Clark Griswold there, but he was on the roof, and he had the snowman up there with the lights all around it. It lights up, and then the lights run from the snowman or the Santa Claus hand down the side of the house and to the ground. But when he turned the lights on, it looked like Santa Claus was taking a pee, is what it looked like. It was like, oh, my God, Clark Griswold all over again.
Well, a grandpa spends 3 weeks turning his whole home into a Christmas ghetto. And they got a picture of this guy. I mean, if it has anything to do with Christmas, it's now in this guy's house. It's so bad. It's like my studio. You can't walk around. I mean, he has stuff, Santa Claus is lifelike. He has lights like you wouldn't believe, Christmas trees all over the place. I mean, everything Christmas. Just overboard. I wonder how his wife responded to that when she came back after he, those 3 weeks she was gone.
Yeah, and if he's got a lot of lights, because there's been a few people around here, they went crazy with the lights on the house outside and inside and the yard and trees, and they forgot to think about the fine print on the bill when it comes, because it's big print. It's thousands of dollars. It was a couple of them had over the electric bill because they never turned them on. Just turn them on, people come by and take pictures. But yeah, some people get excessive on that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, a man got tired of people breaking into his house, into his shop, so he made a booby trap, and it worked really good. He forgot about it, went into the house, and was killed by his own gun.
Oh, he was serious booby trap. This wasn't like a little loose that get you in the leg. This was a shotgun rigged to a door or something? My God. That's a little extreme. That's
as bad as a guy, it was in the news a couple years ago, that put a rattlesnake in his car.
Oh, boy.
And figured, because people were stealing his stereo systems and stuff out of his car. So he figured, okay, this is going to stop. He put a live rattlesnake in there, and then he forgot about it, got in his car, and got bit.
Oh, boy. I think it would have been a lot more cheaper and maybe safer, of all things, just to get an alarm system or lock your doors better or something. That's just, people are, again, they're not thinking, if you're going to do something like that, you got to be on point all the time. You lose your memory, lose sight of what the end goal is, and you're going to get bit because, it's probably underneath the seat, bit him in the ankle or something.
Well, he got bit anyway. A town called Asbestos.
Oh, God.
Wants to change its name because they feel it's really bad for their business now.
I wonder why. Oh, my. What are they going to change it to? Chernobyl 2 or something?
I have no idea, but I tell you what, they got a picture of the surrounding areas around this town. It's all white.
What do you mean?
Well, they got a picture of the town, and all around the landscape is covered with asbestos.
Oh, like real asbestos?
Yes. I mean, that's how it got its name. It was, about asbestos mine or whatever, however they get it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, interesting. That 18,000-year-old frozen puppy found in Siberia?
Yep.
The organs was totally intact. Food in the stomach was intact. The skin was intact. Everything was intact. And you define something like 18,000 years old, totally preserved, is really scary.
That was incredible. I've seen the pictures of that, some close-up pictures, and if you didn't know better, you would have thought that dog was still alive and sleeping, Gary. Did you see the pictures?
Oh, yeah. I actually saw where they were opening its mouth and everything, and its tongue was there, teeth, it was all there,
Everything. It looked like a newborn, well, not newborn, but one that wasn't very old. Looked like it was just sleeping. Didn't look like it was 18,000-year-old dead animal, I'll tell you that.
Well, another thing, again in the UK, a wild boar snorted $17,000 of cocaine stashed in the forest.
Oh, my God. That was about a kilo of cocaine. That pig was wound up. I'll tell you what, I would not want it. Pigs are bad enough, if they're in a bad attitude or whatever. But you get one all wound up on a kilo of cocaine, you're in trouble. Jeez.
Okay, well, it's time for the break. Then we'll talk about what some of the little stuff you have here before we bring on Rob at the top of the hour. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with me, Gary, your host. James Krischbaum out there somewhere in an inch of snow, which more will probably be coming down. And we don't have any snow here or at the compound. It's just cold, chilly, and wet. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes. You're listening to me, Gary.